Welcome to the channel where they call me Q-Tip and we call this Q-Tip's Corner. Today's topic is raising strong-willed children. Now, almost 50 years ago, Dr. James Dobson wrote a book called The Strong-Willed Child. In that book, he taught us that you have to earn the right to raise your strong-willed child every day. Truer words were never spoken. Today's segment is a Q-Tip riff on 5 parenting hacks my wife and I use to earn our strong-willed child parenting badge. Let's count them down. Number 1, wherever you are, be there. Children spell love T-I-M-E. With work life and home life and social life and personal life, we can't be everywhere we need to be when we need to be there for as long as we'd like to stay. You know what though? Children don't care. Wherever you are, be there. Being there means T-I-M-E is quality, not quantity of time. It means being present in the moment, engaged with your child, and investing in whatever time you have available with your child. Wherever you are, be there. Hack number 2, it's their job to sniff the fence. That's a colorful way of saying it's their job to test their boundaries. They're not pushing your buttons, they're doing their job. Do not react. In order for us to regulate their behavior, we have to first regulate ourselves. The moment that they elicit an emotional reaction from you, they anger you, they frustrate you, they are controlling the situation and you are no longer parenting. So regulate yourself before you regulate behavior. With any child, we're going to say no a lot. It helps to keep them safe. No, don't eat that. No, don't jam that in your nose. No, don't jump off the top of the swing set. No, don't run out into the street. The thing is, we teach them a lot of what not to do. Particularly with strong-willed children, we have to teach them also what to do. So perhaps instead of saying, little buddy, don't run out into the street, I have to say, little buddy, don't run out into the street. You could get hit by a car and hurt very badly. Anytime you need to cross the street, I need for you to have an adult walking with you. Hack number 3, if you want your strong-willed child to do a particular thing, give them a list of options that'll accomplish that thing and let them choose which way they go about it. Whenever you do that, it helps them with critical thinking, and it also modifies their behavior in a way that we need it to be modified. This is a good thing because they choose, and maybe you get a little bit of peace. Let me try to give you an example of that. Little buddy hated taking a bath every day. Well, a lot of boys do, right? So every day I would say, little buddy, today, do you want to do a bath or a bubble bath or a big boy shower? I'd let him choose. Doesn't work every time, but even if it works once, they choose, you maybe enjoy a little peace. Hack number 4. Try to introduce new things using concepts they've already accepted. This is important because it's kind of like speaking in a language that they're already familiar with. Familiarity breeds comfort, and comfort may actually help them expand their horizons, and that's a good thing as children are being raised. Let me try to give you a good example of that. Little buddy was littler than most little buddies because he just didn't eat. In fact, his diet was basically milk, apple juice, applesauce, chicken nuggets, and cookies. He particularly liked break and bake chocolate chip cookies and double stuffed Oreos. So I'm out back grilling burgers one day and little buddy was playing on the swing set. Next thing you know, he's tugging on my pants saying, "Hey Dad, what you doing?" And I said, "I'm grilling meat cookies." And he said, "What's a meat cookie?" And I said, "A meat cookie is kind of like a big boy double stuffed Oreo, except we put the fluffy stuff on the outside and the chewy stuff in the middle. But you know what? You can only have one." Which of course meant he was going to disagree and say, "Oh no, I can have 2. And I said, "Well, okay, let's see how that works out." I used a concept that he was already familiar with to introduce this whole new food group. And you know what? Little buddy today is Big Bud. Hack number 5. Strong-willed children learn best when you teach them at a developmentally appropriate level. Don't rush to raise them. You got to invest your T-I-M-E for that strong-willed child. Let me try to give you an example of that. So little buddy and me, we were out on a bike ride one day, and there's a squirrel on the sidewalk out there in front of us. So all of a sudden, a hawk swoops down, scoops up the squirrel. Little buddy slams on brakes and says, "What was that all about?" To be honest, I panicked. He was not ready for a discussion about the circle of life, so I said, "That was a squirrel relocation program, son. There's a neighborhood just over there that doesn't have any squirrels, and our neighborhood has a whole lot of squirrels, so we're sharing some of our squirrels with them. Isn't that nice?" Was it true? Well, the squirrel was actually relocated, wasn't he? So it wasn't complete falsehood. And to be honest, little buddy was not in a place to talk about the circle of life. He had a couple of TV shows he enjoyed where the animals are all friends and they work together and they talk to one another to solve problems and accomplish things and whatnot. We didn't want to let one squirrel relocation ruin all that, did we? So the point of all of this is that I kept things at a developmentally appropriate level. Little buddy was not ready for a discussion about the circle of life. It was incompatible with his knowledge of existence. There would be plenty of time for that later, and we did have that discussion at an appropriate time when he was several years older. So let's count them down in summary. Those 5 parenting hacks for raising strong-willed children. Number 1, wherever you are, be there. Be present in the moment. Be engaged with the child and be invested in the time that you have together. Number 2, it's their job to sniff the fence. It's their job to test their boundaries. It's our job to keep them safe. It's gonna be okay. You got this, I promise. Number 3, you have to give a strong-willed child options. Let them choose which option they want to accomplish whatever it is that you need for them to do. They choose, you maybe enjoy a little piece. Number 4, we want to introduce new things through a concept that they've already accepted. That gives them ownership of something new before they've even sampled it. It's a great ploy, but it's also a great behavior modification that's in your strong-willed child's interest. And then number 5, we want to ensure that we have developmentally appropriate information in front of them. That's when they're going to learn best, whenever they are presented with developmentally appropriate information. There will be time to raise the child with the realities of life later. Right now, your job is to keep them safe and secure while they sniff the fence and you invest your time. We hope you've enjoyed today's Q-Tip Riff. You can catch other Riff content there. You can catch our latest content there, and you can subscribe to the channel there. Be blessed, come back and see us, and we'll catch you on the corner.